Hello everyone, my name is Faisal Khalil, and in this tutorial we are going to see the very most important and industry practice stuff, which means that how you can write a pipeline as a code. So nowadays what we have seen in the previous tutorial, that how we can build a pipelines, compile them, we can trigger different job automatically based on one job, and when this job triggers, I mean when there is something happen on the GitHub, for example, I can say that something happened on the GitHub caused to trigger this job, and this job resultantly triggered this job, and when this job is successful, it's triggered this job, and when this job successful, is triggered this job, and this is the whole process called continuous integration, right? This is the part of CI, continuous integration in Jenkins. We have seen this, but for example, we have in big organization, we have 10 different applications, and each application has five different pipelines or jobs. And for example, we have three different environment with they are same copy of each thing. So if we multiply these like 10 by 50 by 3, so it's like 150 times we need to change everything, or we need to create these jobs, which is very hectic. And this lead us to create some practical stuff, infrastructure as a code, or no, a pipeline, sorry, pipeline as a code. So PAC. So this is the thing that, for example, for that, Jenkins has a very beautiful stuff or language called Groovy, and in the Groovy language, we can always write a complete setup for creating these pipeline, and we can do everything. If you're similar with Docker, so Docker has Docker file, for example. Every language, HTML has HTML tag. So similarly, Groovy has its own language. So in this tutorial, we are going to see that how this Groovy language works, and how we can create pipelines completely, and how we can add that Jenkins files or Groovy files into the existing code setup, source setup, and which automatically detects it and is automatically doing whole stuff. So this is our actually main theme here in this today's tutorial. So let's get started. So we have created this Jenkins file. We have created a new folder, and we have tried to install some plugin. We can go here in this extension. We can go to the Groovies. There are some plugin which can help us. So we can install some plugin that can help Jenkins files maybe, but this is just test and trial. I am not really sure which one is which, but well, this looks a little bit better. Let us install this. Okay, so this is actually Jenkins files. We can come here and well, we can say this is Jenkins file for pipeline as code. And here you can see that we have a complete suggestion. So every Groovy line is actually start with pipeline, and pipeline and with two parentheses, and then comes actually agent. Agent is nothing but primarily any agent. Last time we have figured out the master and slave node. We can always run this setup on slave node. Here we can say that label of the slave or something like that. If we want to, for example, uh, label is equal to, for example, our label was Ubuntu 01. So for example, we can do that. So that's how actually we produce different pipelines. So in this setup, we are going to create, as we have shown here, all the pipelines which need to compile the code, review the code, unit test the code, and packages. And there are some post build actions. So do this after post build, and yeah, that's pretty much. So there is no indentation requirement at all in the Groovy language, and but you can always, for example, do something with that under the stages. Under the stages, actually, you can do all these steps here. Well, so for example, here you can say that git do something, git http um, http I don't know, https, and then something like that, right? So we can do that. So well, http github.com/ source slash something, right? First.git. So something like that. So this is the git step we can do. Here we can do enter, which correspond to our first bracket. We can create another bracket which correspond to our first stage under the stages, and which correspond to another bracket which is correspond to the stages, and then this bracket correspond to the whole pipeline. So that's how normally you bracket up stuff. For example, this is now the second stage. This is correspond in this same stage, and what we can do is that we can keep all stages on the similar level. For example, stage 1 here, stage 2 here, and we can say Maven clean package or whatever build stuff. This is the create stage. And as we know that we had created in the tool setup of the Jenkins in last video, you can refer to the last video, how we can create a environmental variable or main variable or the global variable, which automatically do some stuff for that thingy. So yeah, so this is very easy language, and this the Groovy has its like the Jenkins has its own language Groovy. There is no other way around. So, for example, this is the stages, and under the stages, this is the steps. So this is actually declarative, more declarative actually language. And the good thing is that there is one beautiful setup inside Jenkins which leads us or which helps us to actually do this whole step. So, for example, you can name anything here. I have said this is compile code. This is stage number one. So, agent I cannot write any. So it is always good idea to say any, because in this way, based on the memory and based on the resources, Jenkins can automatically figure out that where to push your code. And but it's up to you. You can also specify the node actually exactly for, even you can specify the node for each stage actually. If I want for stage one something else and stage two for any other node, I can do that. And second thing, for example, this is compile code. As you know that if we compile it manually, what we would have needed to get clone. So as you can see that we haven't write clone here, because this is not sh command. This is Jenkins globals variable, which stand for, or which means that this is get on command, and we don't need to write clone explicitly because it knows already what to do with git, and the git variable, environmental variable, is set within the Jenkins URL. And similarly, I want to, for example, say Maven compile, right? So now sh mean that please execute this into the shell, bash brownie shell, or whichever shell you're using, like Linux shell. Please execute this command into the Linux shells. And as we have set mv in Maven as an environmental variable, I'm gonna show you soon what is meant. I meant by that. So that's why it automatically knows that where is the MVN, right? For example, the code review could be the second stage of this stages. So, for example, I can say that This step is already sh and Maven, but let's say like that I can say that please run this script. Mm, I can say that please run this script via SSH like that. Okay, script comes here because this is active word. Okay, script come here too because this is kind of script. Here we can write Maven or the full path because we don't need Maven. We can do that. So this is this, and again we can come to third stage, which is unit. Similar step we have something post here, and for the post we can say that if the post is successful, then do this, and then this posts this, right? This is the stage. Then this means that I need to, okay, on success I want to do something, and I need to close the post as well, which means this post here, and this is gonna close the stages. The good practice is that close that up to the stages, and that stage post. I can here say that on the success, please. These things come from the documentation, and secondly, I will show you how you can get this declarative plugin generator from your plugin generator easily, which leads you to do everything, no problem at all. So the tool actually is PDM parser, and the pattern actually is anything that PDM. So it says that anything is in PDM, like post. After success, please see that mistake program mistake detector and program mistake detector parse everything which plugin PMD saves in the XML file in the target folder. Before target folder path could be anything, but the ending of the path should be this, and go there and see that what the programming mistakes are there. So that's what it's doing, and this is the under the step because it's post, and after every steps program automatically or Jenkins automatically look for the post steps for every stage. So it's definitely falls into the stage number 2. So after that I can come here and I can say that stage unit test, and here I can say that stage unit test. Name anything in the step sh maven test, and in the post step, so do this, and say that only on success you run JUnit plugin, and please see the file of the JUnit in this. So everything looks great, and after the unit test we should have code compile, code review, unit test, and then what should be, might be we can say code zero coverage. And for the code coverage, we can create the parentheses, we can name it code coverage. And Jokobera, I don't know, there is one plugin, Jokobura. No, I don't know what is the name again. So this Kimuruta thing is for this thing. I have changed it a little bit. like dot format report is XML, and we can really do on success something which is here, right? So when I come here, so it is on again, this is the post step, for which means that in this step we are saying that you just run this code coverage script, which is code coverage, do nothing, just do code coverage and save the result, and on save the result is going to that thingy and try to see that how much code is covered. Okay, there is nothing in this step, so this is quite simple Maven package. So now let's restart this machine again to see if we have some luck with that. And since lot of stuff is actually going on in this machine, that's why this thing is not working quite well. So that's how the overall structure look like for this whole pipeline. So only this is one-time effort. You need to create this. You can create a GUI file to get syntax highlight, but in principle you should be able to always create a Jenkins file similar to Docker files, and the name of Jenkins file is Jenkins files always without any extension, which means if that file is present into your pipeline or into your repo, it should automatically detect. Let me just now tell you that how you can create this whole setup actually without knowing the documentation and knowing what thing does what. If you know something on graphical user interface of the this Jenkins URL, you can easily create this programming language with the help of scripts. So stay tuned, just I'm gonna tell you shortly. Okie dokie, great. We have written the syntax now. Okay, so our setup is ready very quickly. If I go here and if I restore this session, it should come to the Jenkins somehow and says master, keep me sign in. I should do that. Right. So, okay, we are on this Jenkins dashboard right now. We have only this file here. We can create a new item. We can say pipeline as code here. So you can remember that we always choose freeline project type, but right now we can choose the pipeline and hit OK. So in the description we can say that this is pipeline as code to automate the job building process. So some information we can here, right? We can, how we can trigger it. We can again trigger it via manually or via one job done. Normally it's a is this trigger is normally linked to CSV or based on hook sometimes, right? In advanced option we have nothing, just display name. And here, as you can see, we can do this. Okay, I can do this. Cool. Here is the script, and there are some sample already given. Hello World is already giving you the similar option actually. And GitHub and Maven means that it's give you a little bit more detail of stuff, and so on and so forth. If I write on the scripted, so you would be surprised at what this scripted thing means. So this is pretty much nobody using in the industry, which really means that nowadays people only use declarative. What we have done here is declarative way of doing this, and this is the old and very old legacy version. So which is actually pretty much same, but in you need to always define some stuff and so forth. very much similar to bash scripting, but yeah, give you little bit of more control, fine-grained control at the depth or the deep level, but still there is overkill because people have come up with more advanced options. So this is similar that you have Windows 11, but you're sticky to use MS-DOS to achieve something. Well, hello world should do the trick. And for example, we can paste our code, complete pipeline code here, Control A and Control V, right? Great. So here's the thing. So it looks good, and we can run this, but we can also use sandbox, which means that we don't want to actually run the pipeline, but we want to test the pipeline. And if you click here on pipeline syntax, this is the stuff where you can generate any kind of thing from your stuff here. For example, if I do here and I say that I want to create a agent, and I here say agent, and my agent is agent label run on agent any, and label is for example ubt, and count is 1. So it's same the similar stuff we have done previously, that how you can do this. If I want to say any agent, and it says any, right? And then, for example, if you want to do something with stages, and you want to add stage, and in the stage number 1, code compile is your stage, and in this step you want to add step, and in this step is very similar, where you want to build something agent. On this agent you want to run, and environmental variable, you add something, you write the name of environment, env my env. You can add, for example, some more environmental variable. Okay, we don't need that, and I come here, so it's a stage. I come here, I give tool, and for example in the tool I have JDK and Maven, and I'm saying this is my Maven version, please use this version to do this, and then I say that please go for options and do something, for example whatever it says, or maybe I can say that post build action. In the post build action I can say that if the build is successful, then please do something, and lot of possibilities, right? So it gives you actually the syntax of doing stuff, right? And it says you the messages that, so there are endless opportunities for you to generate complete snippet, like, and yeah, here is the Maven step as well, invoke shell script. And for example, I want to say compile, and now I generate, it says that's how you write compile, right? And yeah, that's how you invoke step, stuff and you do all the thing you need here. The only thing is that you need to sometime find the stuff here, but it's good. For example, this declarative generator is just to generate your structure actually. You can always see that I have generated complete structure with that, and it gave me complete structure. And now I want to fill this structure. To fill this structure, you need this snippet generator. In the snippet generator, you have every single option available. Oh, it's not okay. It's able to, for example, for the compile code, we needed git, right? For the compile code, we need here git, and I say http dot my git hub.com source and my repo. And branch is the master and credential. If it is private, I can use my credential. If not, then not. And then I can say this. And now it's actually completely give me this option. These options are additional. What we have used, if you can see that we have already used this as similar thing here. So yeah, for example, this is code compile, and after the code compile, we had option code review where we use code review, right? Where we run some script. We already know the script because we have been building this. But for now, if I say code review, and the good thing is that any kind of plugin you install, you can easily get your stuff here, and all the relevant options should be appearing here. Okay, this is JUnit, this is mail, this is for node, this is for parallel, this is for running assets, this is for running stages, and. Okay, so in our case, the next step, for example, we have right here, we already could copy this, and now we need to run some script. So for that, we should go to script option, shell script right now, and here we should say that mvn compile. What was second? Second was maven p matrix pmd maven slash big p pmd pmd. And if I generate it now, it says that you can run this with sh, which is quite similar we have done. And following the same step now, for example, for the unit test, I can run this script as usual. And for the post build action, I can say that please give me post build action. JUnit test. So this is the step actually. Sample step is JUnit. So where should be the output? And do this again. Oh, and generate script. JUnit Studio section, whatever method you're using based on that. It should give you what? Okay. But I'm confused in one thing why it's not giving me a post build action right now. or how I can generate this. Let me just check. For example, maybe I can say that here's the result, here's that. So some other option, check names, if check, and yeah, this is the stuff. Ah, so mostly it is actually very similar. This post and this step we are supposed to write it here. But yeah, you have got complete. Now there's a complete documentation, and there are a lot of other sources where you can build completely. But this is just bare minimum or basic actually option I have shown you how you can compile everything from here. But it is also self-explanatory. You can just Google it. The structure of your if you just Google it how can I write a JUnit test Jenkins and it can give you a complete structure of this easily without any problem. But yeah, you can build post build action and coverage and everything based on that, but you have to little bit search in the snippet generator, and everything is good to go. And yeah, now let's test our pipeline whether it's working or not, and how we can compile it as a Jenkins files along with hooking to our GitHub. Hooking is not possible for me because I'm on localhost, and GitHub server is don't allowing any localhost due to security reason. But yeah, I'm gonna click manually, but it doesn't make much difference. Yeah, let's start that. Let me install Jacoco and warning. Jacoco and warning is actually needed for overall setup. Let me restart for safe. So we have here, and our pipeline is not working somehow. So I go to dashboard, and here my pipeline. I try to do, but it doesn't work anymore. And if I go here, let's see what happened with our pipeline here. I can go to the console output and figure out that what happened. The cloning is okay, I guess. Everything good. Oh, okay. It says that I cannot find Maven here, so which makes sense because I don't know. I have set environmental variable here like this one in the tool. I have had this Maven installation here and I set the tool, but I don't know why it doesn't work. So what we can do is that we can change our complete path of, I don't know, MVN version, MVN version, Maven OPT Maven Home, and then bin and MVN. So what we can do is that in all this script here, we can say that OPT Maven, what was that? OPT Maven and then Maven bin Maven and then binary and then Maven. This should be the complete path. Let me once check this if I cd to into it or not. Oops, I cannot cd into it. CDOPT Maven Maven. Oops. CDO CDOPT MAVEN, and what's inside the Maven? It was library or it's for binary? Bin Mavens. So it should be op bin and Maven. So pretty much binary and this one right now here and wherever it is, change with this one. Wherever we get Maven, we need to change this with you. And MVN, first MVN, here one MVN as well. Change script Kokobura or something. Okay, copy, go to virtual machine, go to pipeline as a code, go to configuration, come down, select it, everything, save, build now. It looks like that something is trying to work here. So we can go to stages as well and see these are the failed one. Code compile went well, code review went well, and code test went well, code coverage failed. Well, that makes sense. Might be our code was the Jacoco, and we have used something else. It makes sense. Well, yes, that's true. The shell script Kobutra is, I guess, not installed anymore, and I need to Kobitura, Kobitura, Kobitura dashboard manage Jenkins, and then plug in somewhere here, and then available, and then Kobitura is not installed at all. I could have done with Jacoco. I don't know. Let's install both of them. I don't know. Code coverage. Let's install both of them because I'm not very sure. And then I'm back in a moment. Okay, let us try Jacoco for the one time because Jacoco actually just do a code coverage with verify, Maven verify. And might be we can run this as well, but okay. But maybe we can also do it with Jacoco, which means we can go again to coverage and then we can go to pattern syntax, snippet, and Jacoco with it's with J. Can I see something Jacoco or not? Okay, here's the Jacoco. Okay, great. Path to the execution file is the good. Path to the execution classes is the good. Source main Java is the good. Always line run coverage collection even if the build failed. Um, there are some other stuff actually here. Uh, what is the minimum code we want to cover? Or I don't know. If I generate this report, it says Jacoco, and otherwise it says something like, let's say 20%, line is 10%, and 20%, something like that. Okay, then it's Jacoco with some other variable, otherwise it's let's do it. And yeah, maybe I can change this checkbox here. Always is the true, so regardless whatever happens. So you run it, and now I can copy it. I can come here and in the success tab, instead of Jacoco, instead of this stuff here, I can say Jacoco, I can select it. And let me just now come to pipeline as code and then configuration again and then Control A, Control V, then save, then build now. Let's see that now if coverage runs or not. We can always see the stages somehow. Code review, unit test. It generated another thingy here. Great. Okay, and then it should give us something like coverage. Great. It gives us actually coverage here, and then ultimately it gives us complete packaging. As you can see, if we want to see the result of something coverage, it says that, well, this is the script we have ran, and in the build you can see everything here, right? If you come back to the main pipeline as a code, now you can see the coverage as well, pipeline syntax as well, each and everything, PMD warning as well, as usual, categories, file issues, type of code, code-wise problems, restart from stage, pipeline console is here, which tell you everything for the code coverage. These things are ran, right? This is the overview of the pipeline, how it's run, and what was the configuration and all other changes. So that's how actually very practically you write this stuff. So now the last thing which is kind of very important is to, for example, you have one source file. What you do is that into your source file you create a Jenkins file and you paste very similar code what I have here. Like similarly here you always create a Jenkins file, file file, and it's automatically turns into this file, and you can just Control C, Control V, and this file you can always, uh, check out into or add into your simple Java app, and then you hook this simple Java app to the GitHub based on the changes. What we have done in the previous video, you can refer back to the previous video. You can go there and you can easily check that you can always, trigger this pipeline whenever there is new changes or whatever stuff you want. And this, then what it's gonna do is it's automatically fetch everything based on Jenkins files. It start building your pipeline, and source code is the code which you have written anyhow here. So that's how actually you can run this pipeline as a code. Very simply, if you come here and if you go to the configuration here, what you can do is that you can come here and you can say that, okay, build this based on GitHub hook. That's all. And you don't write anything, you delete everything from here and apply this. And this file code is written into your pipeline as a code. So that's how you can build this code as well. So you just as normal job, we have configured the compile job earlier. You can refer to that video. And based on every changes you made into the GitHub control, which is saved on your local computer, you change something here. For example, you're sitting here, you just copy this paste this file, you change some stuff here, you push this, and it automatically try running on your server, and it's try to build everything from pipeline as a code. And as you can see, it's a lot more easier than anything else. So yeah, that's how you build pipeline as a code. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos like that. Bye.